Hey, what's up everyone? I just wanted to make a quick video regarding President Trump and his major announcement. I've been seeing this all in the news and I just wanted to ask you all, what do you think? What do you think will be his major announcement? I mean, other YouTubers are talking about this. I watched a bit of some other YouTubers' videos and I am quite interested to see what is going on. Other people have been saying for a long time, oh, there was a whistleblower from the military that states that crap's going to go down in January, mid-January, it's going to go down, and that things are not going to be the same, and that all of this riffraff, all of this stuff. Now, I don't push that sort of thing. I don't push saying something's going to happen unless I feel very strongly from the Holy Spirit or something like that. I do share it then, and I've gotten those right. When something gives me something to share and I tell a date and it's correct, I mean, I've done that many times. Dates have come true in my mind. But this I'm not going to say anything about, but I do know Trump was born, interestingly, Trump was born 700 days before Israel was a nation. Israel became a nation May 14th, 1948. 70 years later, on the date of Israel's anniversary, President Trump signs a declaration making Jerusalem the capital of Israel once again. They create Trump Town. It's the beginning of the building of the temple. And Trump was 70 years old when he became president. And this eclipse happens around 729 days after his inauguration. On the second, this eclipse happens on the day of the second year anniversary of President Trump's inauguration. And on top of that, this blood wolf moon, there was going to be a blood moon. I mean, there was a blood moon on the day Trump was born, where he was born. You could see it. And there were three different Christs, people by the last name of Christ in Trump's family, and his mother was named Mary. So that's sort of interesting there. Some interesting synchronicity. Some say, Trump said on Twitter that he was going to make a major announcement at 3 p.m. So, and they said Jesus Christ died at 3 p.m. So that's another interesting thing. But what do you think the major announcement will be? What do you think that President Trump's announcement is going to be? For a very long time, he has spoken of border security. For a very long time, he has spoken of the need for more border security. And there's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of prostitution. There's a lot of, human trafficking of minors, of children and babies being put into that life over the border. It's sad. That is very sad. And he stated on Twitter and in an announcement on the White House official channel, that needs to stop, and that this illegal trafficking and human trafficking and the bloodshed, so many murders have happened because of illegal activities and because of activity from across the border. He even gave numerous examples of individuals that were brutally murdered. I mean, it's true. But what do you think's going to happen? I mean, coupled with the fact that I'm hearing some paranormal activity right now out here, but coupled with the fact that they had a secret meeting with Korea, that was interesting. They had a secret meeting that was announced on breaking news in Korea. The ambassadors did. So that was interesting. I'll see what comes out of that. I haven't read anything else about it yet. But President Trump is going to make a major announcement on the shutdown and the border. He did say that if Congress, one of two things could happen with the border. Congress could have either agreed on something, or the El Chapo bill, where they could have agreed on that, or something else could take place. And he could do what he said he was going to do and create a state of national emergency and issue a national emergency. Many people out there are fearing martial law and control, and that they're going to use some kind of fake national emergency to distract people from what's really going on, blah, blah, blah. And I don't really see that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say either way, but there's all kinds of people, conservative, liberal, Christian, non-Christian, many people out there who are news people, non-news media, everyone out there giving their opinions now. And there's a heap of opinions. I mean, there are bunches of opinions on the internet. And it's hard to distinguish what's true news from what's not. Now, I see that he is going to make a major announcement around 3 p.m. He stated on Twitter, I'm going to make an announcement at 3 to 3:30 p.m. on the day of the super blood moon, this blood moon. So that is quite interesting that he does that also at the time Jesus Christ passed away. I mean that's just kind of... Jacob Israel pointed that out. I did learn that from Jacob Israel, and I seen that on Trump's Twitter feed, President Trump's Twitter feed. So that is quite interesting. And then President Trump posted a prayer on Twitter, and with a picture of himself, a drawing of himself there in a prayer stance on his knees. So what do you think the announcement will be? I mean, there's a lot of crime and a lot of mess coming from the border. There really is. And a lot of good people are taken advantage of, and they pretend to be, the bad people pretend to be good and infiltrate themselves, come in through the border from other countries south of Mexico or from Mexico, and even Middle Eastern countries and other countries, people from everywhere. And there's a lot of killing, and there's a lot of drug cartel activity. There's a lot of crime that happens. And there was an interview done with the soldiers at the border. Our armed forces, the military at the border. There was an interview done with them, as well as the Border Patrol agents and the people at the border, even some of the locals from Mexico, even them. And they stated all of them, the majority of them, wanted a wall and said they needed a wall. Trump made a major announcement on the border and shutdown about 7 hours ago, but they said he's going to make a major announcement. I mean, he made an announcement that he's going to make an announcement. So this Saturday, let's look for this at 3:30 p.m. or 3 to 3:30. What's going to be his major announcement? What do you think it is? I mean, he just said he's going to make a major announcement on the government shutdown and border security. The border itself. So what's going to be his announcement? In your opinions, I'm curious to hear. I know he's already stated the Iran policy is not working and that we've got to work on that. I thought he already axed that he already vetoed that, got rid of that, but I guess he didn't get rid of all of it. I don't know. And then people are posting a lot of negativity. So I'm curious to know what that announcement will be. I'm sure I, along with many of you, will be watching and waiting to see what happens Saturday. I mean, I'm just hoping that it's not something that's going to lead to some kind of a cataclysmic insanity or some stupid actions from people or Congress arguing and making these decisions and arguing back and forth. And there are several things that the president has tried to do that Congress didn't let him pass that made sense, that they just argued with him up and down. They just wouldn't let him pass it. And he did do several executive orders for several things. And the previous administration did executive orders as well. And he even created a bill where he could just do executive orders whenever he wanted and just get rid of anything he wanted. But no one even mentioned that. No one ever brought that up. And during the previous administration, something I want to point out. Do you know how many police officers were killed? So many police officers were killed, and that administration just sat back and let it happen. And when President Trump got in there, he stated that's not happening anymore. Black people were killing white police officers like crazy. Racism was happening like crazy in another form, and it didn't seem to matter. And there were also cases, yes, during President Obama's administration that white people killed black people, and It's all stupid. It is so insane, people. It really is. And during this administration, there are idiots and people that think that it gives them the right to be racist. And he said at the very beginning, this has got to stop. He said that I do not promote or condone that. He said it so many times, but it was never enough for those people in the media and Hollywood to accept that he's not just a racist. I mean, I don't even want to talk about that. I mean, I don't even want to talk about that. I mean, his son-in-law. I mean, how can they call him a neo-Nazi when his son-in-law is a Jewish individual? Think about that. The stupid neo-Nazis that do things in the name of Christians. I had never even heard that term. I've heard of Nazi, but neo-Nazi I'd never even heard of. That what the Jewish people did, like Hitler and all that crap, are doing things in the name of Christianity, and that is just pathetic and low and awful, and doing things in the name of our president. And the president said, hey, stop this. He has a Jewish son-in-law, for crying out loud. He is not anti-Semitic. I don't know where these people are getting that, and I don't know where he's promoting it, and I don't know why these people do these things in the name of Christianity and in the name of the president. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Get along, people. Anyway, what do you think his announcement is going to be? What's going to be the announcement? I'm curious to know. We'll find out. Maybe nothing big will happen. Maybe it will. I don't know. I know we've been feeling that something would happen in January for a long time now, especially since that quote-unquote whistleblower on this other YouTuber's channel and all kinds of things, but I'm not here to promote like, oh, it's there, we're going to, that's it. But I just want to say, I'm curious to know. So we'll keep our eyes open. It could be an excuse for them to cause chaos, because out of chaos comes control. Just remember that. When they create chaos, Congress and all of them, I'm sure, will go dead set against the president. They usually do. And it plays right into their hands. And they're not going to do anything that this president wants them to do, and they're just going to create chaos, because out of chaos comes control on their part. So, yeah. Just saying, the government uses chaos to create control. President Trump was trying to create a balance and restore things and help people, but they just don't want to let him. Anyway, I'll talk very soon about that. Peace and much love. What do you think his announcement will be?